Boy, this tip is really important, really important. With all the newfangled stuff that we have to fish with nowadays, what is one piece of equipment that we really need to spend quite a bit of extra time learning that new piece of equipment? Good morning, guys and girls. May 6th, reading from the Catch of the Day book on the Catch a Better Life channel on YouTube. We post these at 5 o'clock every morning on the Catch a Better Life channel. Please subscribe to that channel if you're not subscribed to it. We have over 31,000 fantastic people on that channel, and several thousand every day watch this video. Several thousand watch it on Facebook, Jimmy Houston Outdoors, all capital letters. Thousands watch when we post it on TikTok as well, Jimmy Houston Outdoors on TikTok. If you're a TikTok person, follow us over there. We put a lot of stuff over on TikTok. We don't put on the other channels. You know, we do over 1,000 videos a year for social media, over 1,000 a year, probably as much as anybody. And we really appreciate y'all being on there. Have about 1 million people on just about all kinds of social media that's out there. May 6th, we're looking at 2 Corinthians 9:8. This is really a good one here. And God can give you more blessings than you need. Can I just read that again? And God can give you more blessings than you need. Then you will always have plenty of everything, enough to give to every good work. My gosh, what a verse. 2 Corinthians 9:8, by the way. Over the years, we've held many events with the FOCAS group that required a lot of volunteer help. FOCAS stands for FOCAS, the Fellowship of Christian Angler Society. That spawned out of a Bible study group that I started back in 1983 over on Lake of the Ozarks, I believe. With my good buddy Hank Parker, another great Christian man. Hank Parker, and we started that Bible study group simply as to have a Bible study, just a simple Bible study. I had some friends of mine that were professional baseball players that started the focus groups in their all their baseball teams, as a matter of fact. And Jim Sundberg down at the Texas Rangers was one of them, and I told him about we missed a lot of church, and because of missing a lot of church, I just sort of felt an empty feeling there, because tournaments a lot of times take 10 days. That's 2 Sundays that you miss. And so we started that Bible study group. I think we had 15 or 18 people there that first night. Charlie Campbell came up with the idea. Charlie Campbell, great Christian, rest his soul. He's looking down on us, smiling right now, probably looking at that calm lake out there, wishing he could throw his bear spook out there. Best bear spook fisherman I've ever seen. But he suggested we call it something. I called my buddy Homer Circle, and he produced an acronym almost immediately called the Fellowship of Christian Anglers Society. And that we had Bible studies at every single tournament from then on, over 40 years now. It went over into Bass and Gal. When Bass and Gal started, they started from day one having Bible study at all the Bass and Gal. When FLW became a big major tournament organization, we had Bible studies at every FLW tournament as well. That FLW stands for Fishing League Worldwide, but it actually originally stood for Forrest L. Wood, the founder of Ranger Boat Company. Throwing a little history in today's devotion, I guess. But we had Bible study groups at every single FLW tournament as well. When they merged with Major League Fishing, I don't know if they carried that on or not. I assume they did. I assume they have Bible studies at every single Major League Fishing tournament. If you don't, shame on you. But I'm pretty sure they probably do. I just don't know that for a fact. But anyway, the focus group that we had locally, we had a lot of focus groups around the nation. Many are still going. But the focus group that we had locally there on Lake Tenkiller, we had a lot of events that required a lot of volunteer help. What a blessing it was to know that there would always be just enough volunteers to do what needed to be done. Just like this scripture right here says, God can give you more blessings than you need. You will always have plenty of everything. Just always will be enough. For tournaments, there'll be just enough prizes to make sure everybody got a great prize. For the kids' day, and we allowed 500 kids. We signed up 550. We'd have about 10% no show. So we had 500 kids every year to that for over 20 years. For the kids' days, we would always manage to get just enough people to make sure that everything went smoothly. And can I tell you, it took 100 volunteers plus for 500 kids. 100 volunteers. That's a lot. We'd always have plenty. We'd always have plenty. I can remember Chris every single year, seems like, laying in bed beside me, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning with pads in her hands and yellow pages, yellow books laying all around, yellow notebooks laying all around, writing schedules and signing volunteers and doing all this kind of book work that had to be done so the next day would run smoothly. And I tell her, what are you doing, honey? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. And she's sitting there in bed. She said, I got to get all this organized. I got to get all this organized. So we got to get up in a couple hours, and pull this thing off. And but she would do that. It seemed like every single year it was that way, every single year. But it always runs smoothly. It always runs great. Many, many, many hours went into that preparation. And there were times it just didn't look like that it was all going to come together. Chris said, I'll never get this done by the time we start tomorrow. I'll never get it done. It's not going to come together. But here's an interesting fact. Can I tell you that in all those years, we never had a rain out for either one of those events. Never had a rain out. Over 20 years we held those events. Never had a single rain out for Kids Day. Never had a single rain out for the big tournament we had where we raised the money to do all the other things like our Pastor's Day that we bring in about 100 pastors and take them fishing on a Friday. Always had enough boat volunteers for that. Guys would take off work on Friday to take these preachers fishing. And we always had plenty for that as well. And we all the things we did there, whatever we were doing, the hospital deal when we went to the nursing home, had a big Christmas party and gave every person in that nursing home a couple of Christmas gifts. We always had enough people to do it. It's amazing. And we didn't have any rainouts. It didn't have any rainouts. You know why? Because God definitely was in control. God was in control of his people out there doing good for other people. He was in control. And he blessed the hands that were willing to work. He blessed the hands that were willing to work. I just think about all this. And I think back at all those times and all those tournaments and all that work and all that effort. And yet God was right in the middle of it, blessing, 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 blessing. Can I read that verse just one more time before I quit? And God can give you more blessings than you need. There will always be plenty of everything, enough to give to every good work. Now, we think about blessings sometime. We think about dollars and cents. We think about money. We think about, well, I don't have enough money to give much money. I have a hard time just giving 10% tithe. I just don't have a lot of money to give. Blessings is not just money. That's just one blessing out of millions of blessings. Blessings can be time, just like these volunteers, 100 volunteers for Kids Day. 100 guys would show up with their bass boat to take preachers fishing on a Friday. Take off work on a Friday. I got to admit, when you ask your boss if I can take off work today to take a preacher fishing, most bosses will let you do that. But it didn't matter what we did. Didn't matter what we did. God would bless the hands that would do the work. And he would bless the ones that had money to give to have enough money to do it as well. We serve such an awesome God. Such an amazing God. God can give you more blessings than you need. Here's our tip for today. Take time to learn how to interpret your fish finders. That's right, your fish finders. They're fancier than ever now. They'll do more than you can ever imagine. Take the time to learn how to use them. I'm guilty of wanting to fish all the time and not taking enough time to learn about a lot of the equipment that I have because I just love to fish. But I've got pretty good with them, I got to admit. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one. Fish lucky. You'll always have blessings flowing every single day. And remember, I sure do love you.